Two things you got to do: 360 no scope the like button, and then contact your state assembly member and tell them to vote no on AB1223. Hello everyone, today I'm here to talk to you about AB1223, a tax that would impose a 10 to 11% increase of price on all firearms and ammunition sold in the state of California. This is a bill that we've spoken about previously, one that has a interesting history, one that we have partially defeated prior this year and has revived itself because Mark Levine simply will not give up. The gun grabbers in the state of California and the Democratic politicians in the state of California are trying to increase the taxes that you pay on firearms by a hefty amount. I'm going to break down the numbers for you just to give you an idea, but before we do, I just want to say thank you to everyone that supports this channel. I want to say thank you to Route 66 Shooting Sport Park down in San Bernardino, California. They've been a huge support to me. Excellent range. If you're in the area, check them out. They got a ton of facilities: pistol, rifle, shotguns, steel, action shooting on the weekends. It's an awesome place to be. Definitely check them out. Now, AB1223. Well, 10 to 11%. Some of you might think to yourself, well, that's not really that much. How much can that really be? I'm going to give you a brief example. So a Glock 17, one of the most common handguns that we can actually buy in the state of California, the dealer cost on that during normal times used to be about $450, meaning that a dealer would pay $450 for that Glock, at which point they would sell it. Most gun stores tend to hover around in normal times, again, at about $530, meaning that they might have made anywhere, and sometimes even less, at $499, I've seen them. So sometimes they're making anywhere from about $50 to $80. Now, 10 to 11%, now this is an excise tax that's going to be put on the actual seller, not the person. Now, Mark Levine has been very quick to say this isn't a tax being imposed on the consumer, it's a tax being imposed on the seller. I mean, like, the guy has to be room digit IQ, and I mean, it's pretty hot in this room right now. We're going through a little bit of a heat wave in California, so maybe he's got a 100 IQ, but when he says that, he's ignoring the fact that 11% of that $530, or about $500, is $50, meaning that on that $500 gun, if they paid $450 for it, they would no longer be making any money. So, do you think the consumer is now going to not eat that cost, or do you think they are going to have to eat that cost because the seller has to raise their prices to make money? I'm going to give you a second. Go ahead and comment down below whether or not you think that this is going to cause prices to increase. Okay, cool. Now that we did our little Dora the Explorer moment, obviously this is going to pass a huge tax increase on all firearms and ammunition. I don't understand how they think that this won't directly go to it. This bill at one point initially was going to be a $25 fee per firearm transaction. Okay, well that's interesting because in 2019 they raised the gross fees on every firearm transaction from $11 to $34, or was it $14 to $34? Either way, they more than doubled the fees that we pay every time we do a transaction on a firearm in California. Then this bill in 2020 was initially shut down and then revived because they didn't want to raise the fees right after they raised the fees, because even some Democratic voters don't like the idea of raising taxes all the time. But now, AB1223 in its current standing, at one point it was supposed to initially go to Cal VIP, meaning a group, a funded group that would potentially provide services to people that would potentially reduce gun crime. I don't really know what they're planning on doing with that, but then they removed that and they said they were going to put all that money in the general fund. So when we found out about that, we made a big stink about it. And then it seemed like bullying worked, and they removed that and put it back into the Cal VIP. Then it failed. It missed the 2/3 vote that it needed. That 2/3 vote was missed by about 9 votes. They needed 9 votes. Now, of the people that voted and didn't vote, there were 12 Democratic assembly members who did not vote and 1 Republican assembly member that did not vote. If any 9 of those 13 people vote yes on it this time around, which as of right now is looking like it's going to be Monday, 6/21, but they keep pushing it back, pushing it back. If any 9 of those people vote on it and vote yes, that would ruin it. That would automatically increase the cost of every single firearm and every single round of ammunition you purchase in the state of California. Again, I realize I'm very sweaty, but it's like 100 and something degrees here in California today, and I got a bunch of lights on in my room. So if you're looking to buy anything right now, I urge you, or in the future, or if you just don't think that these taxes will actually do anything, that's great, because as of right now, they've put an urgency clause on it so they can revive this bill. Basically, Mark Levine is trying to resuscitate his Frankenstein monster of a bill to tax the fuck out of you, and right now they're trying to vote on it. You have time to contact your senators, to contact your assemblymen, say no, tell them to vote no on this. I am going to leave a link down below, which is super detailed on all the information about the history, how this went, how this has changed over time, how you can contact your senators, and when you do contact them, what to say to them. It's a great guide. The person was Merkalev, I believe, on CalGuns, and it's on r/CA Guns, so on Reddit. And it's an excellent guide that's going to break down how you can potentially fight this 11% tax. Now think about that. You buy $100 worth of ammunition. Do you think that they are making enough money to just soak up $11 in tax? I'm going to say no. And now here's the coolest part about this. Law enforcement sales or sales to a law enforcement department would be completely exempt. That's pretty interesting, right? Why would their sales not, why would just some cop that wants to buy some .22 ammo, why shouldn't he be taxed? But the common man will. I don't know, but it would be nice if some police unions said, hey, we understand that you're trying to give us an exemption to get us to support it, but if a police union or some members within the union were to contact one of the people who did not vote, maybe we could get this to not pass. Or we can continue to live in a state where normal people like me can get shot and killed and arrested for doing things that's legal for cops to do, even not inside the purpose of their work. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm sorry for using my fuckface voice. That was probably very punchable. I was probably very punchable for a second, and I'm sorry. If you punched your screen, I'm sorry. Make sure while you're looking at your screen angrily, you smash like, 360 no scope the like button if you hate taxes. I think that's what we're going with. If you hate taxes, two things you got to do. 360 no scope the like button, and then contact your state assembly member and tell them to vote no on AB1223. I don't think you understand how good it would make me feel to see Mark Levine fail. I want AB1223 to be a fucking I just want it to make him cry at night. I want him to fail. I want him to fail so bad. If this bill fails, it will give me a fucking erection. Fuck Mark Levine. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace. Oh my god, it is so fucking hot. It's like 100 and something degrees. I thought the whole reason that we live in California and pay these stupid taxes was so that we didn't have to live like with swamp ass. How do you deal with, I don't have AC in my new house. I just bought a new house. I don't want to replace the furnace and the AC and all that stuff yet. If you're a HVAC pro in Sonoma County and you do that for a living, holla at your boy, Reno May Media at gmail.com, because I don't know if I'm going to make it through the summer. I could die. I might die. I think I'm going to die. This is what it looks like. I thought I paid my heat tax. I thought I paid the tax that you have to pay to live in California for the weather to be good. I understand that 100 degrees isn't that hot for some of you, but I'm not used to this. My frail Californian skin, I'm too sweaty. I haven't sweat this bad since I lost my virginity. That's too much information. I'm gonna go now.